Hi everyone, I'm Dr. Stephen Davidson, the sexual integrity coach and the author of Sexual Integrity, Finding the Courage to Be Yourself. If you find this video helpful, please like or subscribe. I would also appreciate your comments below pertaining to other subjects you would like for me to cover related to sexuality and relationships. As a sex therapist and an advocate for sexual rights, sexual freedom, it's my mission to help you learn things you weren't allowed to learn in school, things they will not teach you at church, and also things that Ron DeSantis doesn't want you to know. So maybe we should just keep this between us. Sexual compatibility should come naturally in relationships, but it is one thing that brings couples to sex therapy. Sexual incompatibility. There are several ways couples can be sexually incompatible. Sexual incompatibility can begin at any time in your relationship, and surprisingly, it is often there from the very beginning. This is why I tell couples to talk about sex early in their relationship and to talk about it often. It's a myth that sex is not the most important thing in a relationship. That might be true if we're talking about your relationship with your fishing buddy or your boss or the old lady who lives next door. But when we're talking about your spouse, your girlfriend, your boyfriend, the sexual aspects of that relationship better be good if you plan to have a lifetime of sex with this person. Sex is the primary thing that separates this relationship from every other relationship in your life. It's also a myth that if you are compatible on every other level of the relationship, that the sexual issues will just work themselves out. That seldom happens. If you're not talking about sex in your relationship, then you already have a sexual problem. Couples don't talk about sex for several reasons. One is they think they know all they need to know. There is more to sex than just the mechanics of sexual intercourse. Human sexuality is complex, so there's a lot more to it than just sticking a peg in a hole. Another reason is sexual shame. Most of us grew up with some degree of shame about our body or our sexuality. We learned that sex is bad, dangerous, nasty, sinful. So we think of it as a taboo subject that we shouldn't talk about, even with our spouse. And another reason is that we might be keeping secrets. We hide our likes and dislikes because we fear rejection if we tell the truth. We fear we will be judged by our partner in a way that will be hurtful, so we avoid honesty and transparency because it might just seem too dangerous. There are two primary ways couples can be sexually incompatible, and one is around the frequency of sex. One wants it more often than the other. In some cases, one partner might not want sex at all. Some people truly are asexual and can't relate to the experience of wanting, desiring, or needing sex on a regular basis. It's fine to be asexual, but sometimes people don't realize this about themselves until they've already entered a relationship. There are other reasons for this imbalance in frequency as well. Another factor could be the kinds of sexual activities that you each enjoy. Maybe you're interested in different things. One of you might like something that the other finds repulsive, awkward, or just simply not erotic. One may have conditions for sex that the other doesn't, or the conditions are not mutual, such as only wanting sex in the morning, only wanting sex after a shower, only wanting sex when the children are out of the house. Sex is a natural aspect of our human existence, but we can make it incredibly complicated. To determine your erotic compatibility with your partner, first define your erotic appetite. How frequently do each of you want to engage in some form of sexual activity? And I'm not just talking about vaginal intercourse here. Some people want sex 2 to 3 times a day, others 2 to 3 times a month. I expect there will be some variation between you and your partner. You're different people, and there are many variables that affect our individual drive for sex. Then, list the top 5 sexual activities that give you pleasure. This can sometimes be difficult because some people have trouble identifying 5 different sexual activities. That in itself can be part of the problem. So I'm going to give you some examples. We'll start with vaginal intercourse because that's often at the top of the list, for straight couples anyway. Some other examples are receiving oral sex, giving oral sex, kissing, receiving nipple stimulation, giving a hand job, talking dirty, masturbation, viewing pornography, dominance, submission, on and on and on. When you have your top 5, be sure to specify if you are in an active or passive role, and specify the frequency at which you would like this activity. Now, compare your list to your partner's list. Where do you intersect or overlap on your individual erotic maps? And by that, I mean, what are the things that you both like? Was there anything that you left off the list because you were uncomfortable letting your partner know that you wanted it? What were you afraid of if they had this information? Was there anything on your partner's list that you didn't expect to see there? Where is there room for negotiation? Maybe one of you wants intercourse 3 times a week and the other only once a week. Instead of the one with the higher sex drive having to starve in between sessions of intercourse, can the other partner show up 2 more times a week for another sexual activity? It might be just as simple as being there with your partner, kissing them, holding them while they masturbate. This exercise should open the door to more communication between the 2 of you. If you're having trouble navigating the subject, then a sex therapist can help you better communicate with your partner and discover the ways to improve your sexual compatibility. Your sexual relationship will not improve if you're not willing to talk about it. I would love for you to pick up a copy of my book. This book is full of scenarios of couples who were examining their own relationship. Reading or listening to it together is a great way to open communication about your own relationship. If you found this helpful, please hit the like button, subscribe. You can leave comments below, and also you can always reach me through my website at sexualintegritycoach.com.